Good morning. It's Andy Graham. I've lived in 115 countries and I've been doing this now for 26 plus years. I'm in Tel Aviv and they're about ready to maybe release 30 hostages. I don't think this is a very positive thing. I think it's really just a game, okay? But it's like one man in Palestine, in Bethlehem said, it's Tom and Jerry. They'll always be fighting, right? Okay, but the Andrew B., one of the Patreon supporters, asked a question. They said, Andy, are you always in a positive mood? And then he wants to know how I stay in a positive mood. Okay, for sure, I am not always in a positive mood, okay? And some people that really talk to me a lot notice when I'm in a negative mood because I become more terse or short or talking in a way that is not so positive. Good morning. And but sometimes I start talking and thinking out loud, and it's really what's going on in my mind. And because what's going on in my mind could be very negative, I can sound very negative. Good morning. Okay, so yes, of course. Now, what normally is the problem? Okay, like Amos has been asking me why I've not made any videos, and I said I'm thinking. And he asked, what are you thinking about? Okay, when you are solving too many problems, normally most of the time when I'm becoming negative, I'm in an overwhelmed stage. Okay, I'm overwhelmed with things to think about or things to solve or problems or major things. There's major things and there's minor things. But generally, what I do is I take a pause and try to contemplate why I'm angry, okay? And so when I said to him, I'm thinking, I'm trying to put all the little problems into a category and I'm trying to resolve them. But I'm also trying to diminish the number of things that I'm doing. A lot of people want to work harder, stay busy when they're negative. And some people that does work, but not for me. I need to lessen the amount of information that's flowing in my brain. But I will now say the solution is always the action. The action is to actually do things. Good morning. The action, there's different ways to look at this. You can say, does my mood influence my actions or does my actions influence my mood? Okay, and I'm going to vote in favor of my actions improve my mood. It's my habit. Okay, like right now you're seeing that I am saying hello to people as they walk by. And so the biggest actions that influence my mood is how I interact with other people, okay, and how I interact with myself. If I'm saying negative things to myself, that is also, if you kind of look at yourself as a person and then you're talking to them, hello, and
good morning.
Good morning, and you have to say hello to yourself, and some people do this in the mirror, okay, but it's my habit. The 3 or 4 major habits that I have is that I acknowledge the presence of other people in my world. First of all, I don't try to look the other way. I don't try to do it. I always have my head on a swivel, and I'm always looking around and I'm making eye contact. First thing. Second thing is I smile, okay, and I smile, which is, to me, the secret to having the best. The 2 things that would change the world is if everybody acknowledged everybody around them and they just smiled. I do understand that some women, if they did that, the men would follow them home. But on the other side is, hello, the little girl on a bicycle. But if you acknowledge the people in your world and you smile, that will make the world a better place. But then after I smile with them, I say hello. Okay, and I made a New Year's resolution that I'm not going to be cynical if they don't reply back. Here in Israel, each country's got a mode where it's easier to be friendly and whatever. Like here, it's about 1 in 12. Well, on camera, they'll almost all say hello. It's really amazing what the camera does. But if I say shalom, which is hello in Hebrew, there's about 1 in 8 that will reply. If I say hello, about 1 in 8. Now, interestingly, when I'm on camera, hello, it just quadruples. Some reason they feel an obligation to the camera, which is kind of interesting. Sometimes it'd be nice just to turn on the camera so you could get everybody to say hello back. Okay, but my actions are I acknowledge people in the room, I smile, and then I say hello. And then I often choose something of interest, like I was pointing out the beautiful little child going by or things like that. And today I was up in the hostel cafeteria, and I asked this woman where she was from. And there's always a question that you can ask that can open a conversation. I even wrote a book about this, how to open a conversation. 25 ways, and I'm going to add another 25 and have 50 pretty soon. But there's always a way to open the conversation. Then after that, Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, takes over. But he doesn't address how to open a conversation. But the best way is to start, you acknowledge people. That seems strange. You acknowledge the presence of another person. You say smile, and then you say hello. So those are the 3 steps. And then you try to find something of interest. And what does that all mean? That all means that my actions are a habit, and I'm going to do that. And if I perform those habits, once I'm doing this, once I perform these things, my mood is positive, okay? And it's very hard to stay positive after you're introducing. And then what I would really, and I almost think people need to be taught this, they need to be taught how to do a formal introduction. Hello, shake hands. Every country's different. In Thailand, you might Y each other. Y is to put your hands together. But the goal is that you learn how to do a formal introduction. In English, we shake hands, we acknowledge, we say, my name is this, and often we say where we're from, and we say our full name, and a very professional person will do this, and sometimes they even go as far as to hand out a business card, right? But exchanging contacts is always a valuable way of endearing yourself. And all these actions that I just laid out, acknowledging people, smiling, saying hello, finding something of interest, exchanging a formal contact, these all set the mood for me and how I am going to deal with the day. And if you do all those things, you're going to be happy. But if you think too much about the problems and you don't, see, thinking is not an action in a way. It is an action, it's a decision, but it's better to think. I always put the moment that I'm in as the highest priority. So a lot of people, when you're talking to them, they're thinking about something else and they're not really dealing, hello. They're not really trying to focus on what's going on. They're basically on target fixation on something else. That is not living one day at a time. That is not living at one moment at a time. It's done. And often I would like people to meditate. Meditate is when you meditate, it's kind of like a prayer. You're making a choice to do the right thing. And if I was going to tell you to pray, I would say pray to do the right thing. If I'm going to say meditate, I'm going to say meditate to do the right thing. And you have this little inner saying to yourself, today's going to be a good day, life's going to go on. And some people do this in the mirror. And they can some people put it right on the mirror, their little, there's a word for this. It's a phrase that you're going to say every day to yourself. Okay, so, but making a priority that people are more important than things or stuff or money or anything, and it's only today that matters. Okay, so the action begets the mood, and that's how I stay in a positive mood, Andrew. Anybody that wants to ask a question can always write me at hoboontheroad@yahoo.com. hoboontheroad@yahoo.com. My phone number and my contact is always in the descriptions to these videos, and I do like questions. I like, and thank you very much, Andrew, for asking the question on Patreon. My Patreon group, we're meeting 8 or 9 o'clock, but 8 o'clock right now, and it's every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's where we can get real personal. On the other side is some people get on there and they don't smile and they're not jovial, and their mood, they're waiting for somebody to change their mood. That's not the way to do it. You change your mood, you change your actions, and your mood changes. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham. I'm here and you're not. Why not?